And hit it, Liz.
Who is the man that would risk his neck for his brother, man?
Shaft.
Nice. Chris Arps, welcome into the studio.
Thank you for welcoming. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I can't complain.
I'm glad. Is that an American flag on your sweatshirt there?
No, that's a Dallas Cowboy logo and the St. Louis Cardinals logo.
Okay.
This kept me warm in Iowa.
I'm sure. Yeah, I bet it did. Yeah. And what's keeping you warm now is that Dallas is, 10-1 on the season?
I saw something today. I think Dallas will be the first team to clinch a playoff spot this weekend. So.
Okay. Nice.
So we're feeling good.
I bet you are.
It's been a drought. It's been a drought in Cowboy land for a while.
No kidding. That's true. Since Staubach, right? I'm just teasing.
I think we can go a little further. Aiken.
Yep. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Aikman. Sorry.
Aikman. Troy Aiken.
Yeah.
Aiken. Aiken.
I always
the
have
guy that ran for Congress from South Carolina.
I always have politics on the mind. No, that's the guy here in St. Louis that
Clay Aiken.
They gave a Senate seat to Claire McCaskill.
Oh. No. Oh, you're thinking of okay. Forget it. All right. I'm thinking of Clay Aiken, the singer from whatever it was, right?
No, you're not into popular
American
culture.
Idol.
What do you care about that type of stuff?
I just remember that he ran for Congress. That's all. It's political.
You should know a political name, Aiken, not popular culture.
I wasn't thinking
Aiken.
of Todd. I was thinking of Clay. My apologies.
That's okay.
So let's see. We got Elaine Cho today, announced by Trump as bringing back a Bushy, so to speak.
Good payoff to McConnell. I like that.
So she'll be transportation secretary. I think she was labor
before
secretary.
Senator
before.
McConnell's wife. Let's
right.
make sure we get that in there.
Yeah, see, he's being magnanimous, don't you think?
I love it.
There you go. It adds a little diversity because she's Asian American. It looks
Korean,
like,
yeah,
Korean.
And I think this is a payoff to McConnell and Republicans and kind of an olive branch because how many people want to have two low-level administration jobs on your resume? Labor secretary, transportation secretary. You'd come back to be transportation secretary.
Well, I don't know. There's got to be something in it for her, right? I mean,
pay off to Mitch. Mitch is like, I want my job to have. I want my wife to have a job in the administration.
You're so cynical. I don't understand that.
I've seen cynical.
I see.
Up close and personal. Up close
I understand.
And personal.
So what about Tom Price? What do you think about that? He got Congressman Price, who is a physician, got named to Health and Human Services, and this guy has got a track record of dealing with Obamacare and options for Obamacare.
I like it. If it's just one more person in this administration that's going to help get rid of Obamacare, I'm all for him.
Well, I mean, nobody can question his credibility on the issue because he is a physician. But, of course, it didn't take little Chucky Schumer very long to come out and state that let's see, what did he say here a minute ago? He said that Tom Price has proven to be far out of the mainstream of what Americans want when it comes to Medicare, the Affordable Care Act, and Planned Parenthood.
I think that first sentence that Chucky Schumer just said is something we're going to hear for the next 4 years.
Far out of the mainstream of what Americans want.
Just get used to that. Far out of the mainstream.
And here's
mainstream.
the other one. I heard Anderson Cooper talking to Jill Stein on this issue of the recount. And he pointed out to her, well, at least half of Americans are happy with how this election turned out. And she immediately told him that, no, they're not, because half of Americans didn't even vote.
That's true.
Of the ones who voted, half of them are happy with how things turned out. The other half didn't vote.
and that's something that we've seen for cycle after cycle. Too.
But you're right. But again, another attempt by the people on the left to somehow delegitimize this election. Well, and I have to think to myself, when I first heard this postulated yesterday, I thought that's reaching a little bit. I'm not quite sure that's what they're after. And then I realized that Jill Stein waited until 13 days, roughly 14 days before the deadline to file for these recounts. And now she's going to go back to court and demand a hand recount because initially they denied her a hand recount request in Wisconsin. So in Michigan, they're going to do the hand recount, but in Wisconsin, they said no. And she said, I'll take you to court if you don't do it. So that's going to take even longer if they got to count all these things by hand. The suggestion was she's trying to force them past that deadline so that they can't meet it.
And that's what I was wondering with, I think it was Michigan that she wants to have a recount, and they certified their vote.
They
already,
certified it
week.
yesterday.
So,
I know.
I don't know. And I tell you one other thing. I think Bill and Hillary Clinton are the Svengalis behind all of this, especially you saying they waited 13 days after the election and tried to do this. I mean, I think they're behind this, personally.
Well, you heard that bite earlier. Do we have that, Liz, that we had in the short list there?
Yeah, I was
saying
listening to
that
that on the way
Hillary
down.
Clinton was it MSNBC? That Hillary Clinton was
We may now know what Hillary Clinton is really doing in the woods, in addition to taking selfies with fans. It turns out some say that she may be laying the groundwork for a third run in 2020. A former columnist for the National Review says her random viral encounters with so-called average voters may not be so spontaneous after all. The report.
This just starkly illustrates just how weak the Democratic bench really is when you're talking about after she gets creamed in the Electoral College and you're talking about resurrecting her again in 4 years. They have no one else that can run for president besides Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, it's a good point. It is. All right, got to get to a break real quick. That's Chris Arps. I'm Mark Cox. Much